There is a moment when you stop and realize that you don't know where you are. Not physically, not in space, but in yourself. All the signs that once pointed the way are now pale, washed out, like a fog that doesn't lift even when you breathe deeply. You look around, but nothing is familiar. Even those steps you've been repeating for years now sound like someone else's. Something inside you knows this is normal, but the mind is looking for stability, looking for a map, looking for an answer, and he doesn't find it. The moment you think you are alone, you realize that your disorientation itself has a form. It is internal, gentle, almost imperceptible, like a shadow that moves when you don't see the light. This feeling is not defeat. It is not a sign that you are weak or lost forever. It is the moment when your old identity no longer exists, and the new one has not yet been formed. And right there, in that emptiness, the silent movement towards oneself begins. Sometimes it happens that the silence around you resonates more powerfully than thoughts. It's as if the world wants you to stop and feel every breath, every moment, every unspoken fear. In that silence there is a whisper. You don't have to know everything, and for the first time you feel that the very feeling of being lost is in a way a sign of life. Sometimes we feel that we have lost our way because we have stopped being who we were. Habits, certainties, thought patterns, everything begins to collapse like old bridges that no longer serve their purpose. And in that silence, that emptiness becomes space. Space for what is yet to come. Losing your direction doesn't mean losing yourself. On the contrary, it is the first sign that something new is trying to find its way through you. Sometimes, when you look around and find nothing familiar, it's not a punishment, it's an opportunity to change your way of seeing, to recognize patterns that you have ignored until now. The mind is so gentle. He searches for coordinates, but often fails to notice that the inner path is not linear. We lose ourselves in order to find ourselves. We stumble to learn where to walk. And in all this, lostness is a silent teacher. Sometimes you feel like a stranger in your own body. It's as if every movement reminds you that you're still learning to walk. But right there, in that uncertainty, comes a quiet strength, a force that whispers to you, you're not broken, you're not unworthy, you're just in transition. Philosophy teaches us that there is no right or wrong direction, except the one we give ourselves. Every disorientation has a meaning that is revealed only when we stop fighting, when we stop looking for an answer with a loud request, when we allow ourselves to be in the state between, in that gray zone that is neither the beginning nor the end. This moment of lostness carries more than confusion. He wears a reflection. It carries the possibility of an introspective look, quietly, without pressure. We can notice that before we were afraid of the unknown because we thought it meant the end. But now we understand. The unknown is only the space in which a new direction is created. And this is where psychological hope is born. A hope that is not a promise, nor a light at the end of the tunnel. She is a silent presence. You are not alone. You are not a void. This is a stage of your evolution. When you watch yourself wander, you notice patterns. You lose yourself because you stopped following old habits, because what you thought was safe no longer supports you. It does not mean that there is something wrong with you. It means you are ready for a change. Disorientation is a sign that your inner world requires adjustment. You may not know where you are going yet, but your existence already answers that question. The moment you think nothing holds, something new begins to take shape. And as you stand in silence, you feel that your movement is enough. Every step, no matter how uncertain, creates space for a new meaning. Your mind is no longer looking for a map of the world, but a map of yourself. And right there, in that introspective silence, existential comfort begins. You don't have to know. You don't have to control every detail. You can feel confused and yet be at peace. You can be lost and still be whole. It is the paradox of being lost that brings inner freedom. If you listen carefully to the inner whisper, you will discover even more. The unknown is not a threat. Failure is not the end. You are always there. And every movement you make through the fog carries a trace of light, no matter how small. Philosophers would say, existence precedes direction. We are here, now, and that is the starting point. Meaning comes only through walking, through experience, through introspective dialogue with oneself. Getting lost is not the end of the road, it's part of the journey. Every shadow, every moment of confusion, every invisible corner of consciousness leads to inner growth. Your disorientation, your sense of emptiness, your insecurity, they are tools. Tools that allow you to recognize yourself when the old identity disappears. And when the illusion of security disappears, pure awareness remains. I exist, this is happening, and that is enough. Philosophy whispers to you, there is beauty in walking through the unknown. Every step you take, every decision to continue, albeit uncertainly, creates a new map of the world. And you may not see the end right away, but your presence here is already creating light. Through all these moments of confusion, light begins to form. Not an outer light, not a great revelation, but an inner one, a silent signal that says, you can walk on, you can go on, even though you don't know where. Every lost minute becomes part of your story. Every shadow, every unclear path, every moment of doubt, it all creates context. And in that silence, you feel that there is meaning in walking itself. Not in the goal, not in the completion, but in the movement itself. Your hands touch the unknown, but not through fear, but through curiosity. Your eyes look into the darkness, but do not seek the light, but allow the light to come by itself. And then there comes a moment when you stop fighting against being lost, when you stop looking for a way to yourself through noise and panic. At that moment you realize that hope was always there. Quiet, steady, existential. A hope that doesn't promise everything, but keeps you going. And maybe you still don't know where you are. Maybe you still don't know where you're going, but you're not afraid anymore. And it is in that space, between ignorance and movement, that light is born. Not big, not space, but enough to keep walking. And maybe, just maybe, through walking, you'll find what you're looking for. And you discover that being lost is not the end, already the beginning.